Kia ora. Awesome. I'll wait for your guys, your guys' audio to click in. But kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, Gina.
You've been good?
I have been, thank you. Yeah, how about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's been real good.
Awesome. And whereabouts are you calling in from?
Wellington.
Ah, awesome. Has it quietened down now?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. It's a shame.
Yeah. Awesome. Kia ora, everyone. Feel free to introduce or say hi. Let me know where you're calling in from or connecting in from. Hi, Shorty.
Kia ora, Tippo. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Very good. Thank you. Whereabouts are you based?
So I'm calling in from, I'm in Uranui, which is in North Taranaki.
Oh, awesome. How's it over there? Is it getting colder or is it still pretty nice and warm?
Literally last night just started to cool off in the evening. So yeah, we're going to be into it pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hi, Matua.
Kia ora matua.
Haven't seen you for ages.
Yes. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, matua. Awesome. Hi, baby girl. Hi, Sama. Awesome. All right, we've got the man coming in now. Kia ora, kia ora. It's awesome to have you guys on here.
All right, I'm here.
Hey, Raymond, how are you going?
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. What time is it over there now?
1:02 a.m. But
Wow.
I'm dedicated to my craft. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Hey guys, I just want to probably just kick this off by welcome you guys all here. Now, just so Raymond knows, there's a few that are pretty much tuning in. Majority of you are tuning in from Aotearoa, New Zealand, but there's a couple here from where we are here in Australia. And so I just want to welcome everybody here. So just a little bit of a background. I know that majority of you guys have come in from the Freedom Reclaiming Sovereigns page. And if you've come in from there, awesome. It's so good to have you guys here. I just want to introduce to you guys Raymond. So just a little bit about him. He's an ex-Marine, okay? And I've come to know him in the last maybe month or so, but I've been watching him since I started this process last year through William Nathan Tapine. If any of you guys have been in contact with him or have know what he's up to, this is the man that he learnt it all from. So I just want to, it's like he said, he's dedicated to his craft. He's been doing this a long time, and he's reaching out to us down here down in Aotearoa and Australia and helping us get this. So I'm going to pass the time over to him. He's amazing at what he does, and I'm just going to mute myself and turn my camera off and just enjoy listening to him. But don't forget, you got to ask questions. It's not just sit here and just listen. You got to ask questions, because unless you guys bring your questions to the to the table, you know, we don't know whether or not our content's going to actually fill the gaps that you guys need. And if you're at a computer, please have your fingers handy to search up anything that he says, because if it can't be confirmed or verified or vetted, you know, then it's just hearsay. So anyway, enough of me. Thanks, Raymond.
Okay, Tupo, let me just ask you one thing. What's the mode of today's conversation? Is it just an open conversation or?
Yep, basically it's a lot of people are interested in knowing about trust, because we've all heard about, you know, setting up trust to secure our assets, secure our property. You know, it's a part of the process that a lot of us have been following, the secured party creditor process, but no one teaches it like you. And the other thing I just want to, it's an open discussion about introducing people to trademarking and how basically how you put this all together. Is that cool?
Okay, that's fine. All right, so let me ask everybody a question. Do we all know that there are three parts to a trust, right? The grantor or settlors, the trustees, and the beneficiaries. Who here doesn't know that there are at least at a minimum three parts or three positions to a trust? Okay, good. I'll take your silence as compliance to the fact that we do understand that there are three parts to a trust. But who here knows about the trust protector? Who here does not know about the trust protector? All I need to do is hear one of you and I will explain. Okay, I see hands raised.
Yeah.
I see short. Yeah, because I had to go to the pictures and I'm like scrolling back and forth to see the faces. There we go. So here's what a trust protector is. Within a trust, even in New Zealand, because we all follow trust law due to British imperialism. Even in the United States, even though we told them to go fuck off, that's why we got a Second Amendment. Yeah, how about that? Yep. So here's the thing. A trust protector is a trust's way of saying that everything that the trustees do, there is a checks and balance. So you can designate trustees to handle the trust assets, and anybody that, you know, has Twitter finger, you know, syndrome, you can Google it simultaneously while I'm saying it, trust protector, and you will find that the definition is consistent with what I'm saying. A trust protector is literally the supervisor to trustees in an irrevocable trust or a revocable trust. Now, before we go forward, let me explain to you what revocable is. Trust way of saying that everything the trustees do is supervised. Okay, those are notes. Okay, I just saw a comment come up. So here's the deal. But let me explain to you what an irrevocable trust is versus a revocable. A revocable trust is where a grantor grants a trust in which they can change the trust declaration or indenture. So they can change the rules at will. They're in complete control, and they can also amend. I'm just jotting notes. Okay, for Matua, Raymond, something Matua. Yeah, hope I get that on Google. I don't know what Matua means.
It's a respect. It's a respect thing. If you are referred to as Matua, it's like uncle. It's a respect.
Oh, awesomeness.
Thing. Yeah.
Awesomeness. All right, so like kind of, yep, good stuff. All right, so here's the deal. I didn't feel I was cursed at. I just thought it was tribal. Look, like literally like tribal, because I'm dealing with you, Tupo. But here's the deal, and a lot of New Zealand people, and I know you guys got the haka. So here we go. So my whole thing is this. So a revocable trust, the trust the trust creator, the grantor, can amend the rules of that trust. They can change the trust indenture, aka trust declaration. So when you write a trust declaration, you're pretty much writing the laws and the purpose of the trust and what you expect of the trustees.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, in an irrevocable trust, when you create that trust as a grantor, you are literally creating a separate, distinct legal entity in which the grantor cannot amend the trust declaration. So if you create that trust, you might not have any other checks and balances to that trust declaration and the rules you set, which causes a little bit of a controversy because that means that you as a creator must be all-knowing like God himself of everything that could come about today, tomorrow, or the day after, unless you designate the special capacity within that trust declaration of the trust protector. And they can amend outside of you and your administrative control your intentional purposes. So let's say you got some trustees that are, I don't know, they're fucking ISIS bombing your mission. Okay, for lack of a better term. Okay, and you must, because you're probably still alive, wondering, what the fuck are you doing with my intellectual property? Why are you not defending my intellectual property? Why are you not suing a state government, a corporate entity for the taxation or compensation or fund accumulation through a paycheck, which means that there's a transaction in all three cases, over my mark of trade? And you got a trustee that sucks. He said, I will be a trustee. But that animal, because he's not acting in his administrative capacity, nor in his obligatory capacity, he's not acting like the sophisticated war scientist of asset protection that he should be. That's why you entrusted him. So let's say he's lazy, or she's lazy, or she's whatever. Your trust protectors will be the one to protect the trust by either voiding their capacity or re-specifying through the indenture specific behaviors to correct that trustee's performance, or they will literally hold a meeting and go, hey, listen here, loser, we're the trust protectors and you're a bad asset. Because the biggest asset to a trust is the trustee's capacity to handle and manage and protect those assets for the benefit of the beneficiary. Let me pause right there and give everybody a second for their brains to cool off and ask questions.
Okay. So does everyone understand what we're talking about in regards to assets?
It's whatever the assets may be.
Okay.
House, car, I don't know, heirlooms, grandma's wedding dress so that the beneficiary can get married in, wedding rings, bullets, rifles, maybe upholding the grantor of that trust's birthday like it's a holiday because he's the whole reason why everybody else is rich and you're 4 generations down, like a Rockefeller or something, making it mandatory that all beneficiaries have a dinner on the date of his birth.
No. So I have my intellectual property, which is an asset. My intellectual property is my trademark, and I trademarked my name. So you guys, who here has no idea what that is or why I would trademark my name? We want to get some dialogue here, because if you don't know, that's all good. I want to explain, but if you do know, then we can move on.
I'm not sure.
Okay, who here knows what a trademark is? Okay, a trademark is a mark that marks your trade. Anybody here heard of Jordan sneakers?
Yep.
Okay, who's that? Who made that?
Michael
Nike.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Who's Michael Jordan?
Maybe Michael Jordan. Have to look that
Okay,
up.
so do you guys maybe believe that because he was so successful and maybe those in the in crowd might have grandfathered him into learning how to control all transactions with his name by creating a product, good, or service with that name, therefore allowing him to control all other relevant transactions?
Yep.
Or who here has never thought of that?
Me.
Okay, so the key to protecting yourself from government entities might be being able to tap into their funding by controlling your name so that they could stop solicitors, that is, making money off of persecuting you because they get a financial benefit. Who here's never thought outside the box like that? I'm gonna tell you right now, in the United States, that is a thing, and it is
Yes.
a bad habit of mine.
Yeah.
Do we understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Who here
Okay, we've
believes
got
that a
two
possi-
people saying yep. Who has no idea? It's okay. You can say yes or no. It's okay.
Hey, you can send a middle finger emoji and my American ass will understand.
This guy.
All right. I see
For me,
nothing.
it's like, well, how much is it that one knows or doesn't know? And so for me, it's about you seeking further clarity.
Okay.
Okay, so interrogate me like I have battery cables on my feet if you do not understand what I am saying, and that's okay. Free speech is a thing. So I need to be able to go ahead and meet you where your understanding is. So watch this. Let me paint it with sticks real quick. A lot of times in our governments, when I say ours, because we share a lot of the same values. Who here disagrees with that?
Oh,
Legally, who here thinks that we don't share a lot of the same, not all, but a lot?
Nope.
Okay, so do we all agree that we were all settled by British individuals?
Yeah, that's right.
And check this out. That is look, let me show my face real quick so that you guys can see that I am now going to say that it is the best thing that has ever happened. And let me tell you why. Let me grab my beer before I keep going on.
I didn't know we were gonna do this.
Amen. So now here's how it operates. The truth of the matter is that where they created a lot of persecution, they have also legislated within our systems laws that have parity because the function is normally the same. I'm not saying anecdotally, I'm saying normally. The difference between anecdotal is, well, where they stomp their foot, they got to get used to the climate around where they are, right? Because whoever they've stepped on also shares maybe a little bit different values, and that's how the society is made. Anybody disagree with that?
yeah.
Okay, let me give you an example. The United States said, fuck a king, fuck the crown, so that's why we have a Second Amendment. You guys got a Second Amendment? What's the equivalent?
Oh, I have no
Amazing.
idea.
I don't know.
Amazing. So now, but normally, do we all believe in free speech and the free expression of ideas and transfer thereof?
Yes.
And I bet you your country also believes in trusts. That's why you're here.
Yes.
Okay, right? Because we all believe that property rights is a thing.
Yes.
Okay. And anybody here like getting government trespassers to run on their property without giving them just compensation if they're going to do so, or at least have a warrant?
Mm.
Yeah.
So do any of you like just giving up your assets
No.
to the government because they said so, right? Because then we start comparing it to Russia, right?
Or China.
Or China, more beer, more beer. So those are where we have parity. Okay, intellectual property means that you make your intellect your property. Example, who here does not understand what a copyright is or copyright protections? Even if it's at a layman's idea. We all understand that if we make a song and we made a one of one, that we can sue another guy if they try to duplicate our efforts. Correct or incorrect?
Yes, correct.
More beer. So now, with that being said, we understand that our efforts and our thought processes, if they create or generate monetary gains, they are protected as that one of one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So then now watch this. That idea in itself creates a vortex of opportunity.
Yep.
Yep.
Anybody here got their name from the government? Thank you. How many of you have signed a check with your name?
Yes.
Yeah.
What happens if you are authorizing trade, you got cognizant enough to mark your trade with that brand by reclassifying and representing in the open market that that is a brand?
So turning your signature into a brand, it's a mark now in trade, right?
It already operates as such. And so
It
therefore,
does.
if you take your name and Michael Jordan that fucker, swish, then
Yes.
you can control just by being made aware that that name is now a monetary asset that needs protection. A one of one, just by making the decision to represent it as such.
Cool.
And now you can take that asset and dump it in a trust.
Gotcha.
I want to ask a question.
God,
Can anyone tell me if you can copyright a name?
no,
Except for you, you weren't supposed to answer.
Jesus, bad student I am, bad mature.
You need to specify that before.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard of doing such though, of copywriting your name? Has anybody heard that that's what you should do, copyright your name? I know I have.
I have. I've seen a. Do you know Mark Patelik, solutionsempowerment.com?
Yep.
Yeah, he sent through a thing to send off to Medicare about not letting your information be passed on about your vaccine status. And on his one that he scanned and put up on the site, he had C in the circle right next to his name.
Okay.
All right, check this out. I have a big head, so let me grab more pillows. Like there's not enough pillows in this camera. And let me go ahead and ask you to Google, may I copyright a name?
Google it and see what Google says. Can I
Google's going to say
copyright
the
a
same
name?
thing that Raymond says. The
And-
reason why I'm having you Google it is to substantiate what I'm about to say next.
Yep. What
And then
does
after
it,
that, I'm going to ask a question for a breather of thought. Like, why is New Zealand the most peaceful place on earth? But we'll answer that in a sec. New Zealand is like the best thing since pockets on pants with like peace.
And like a marketing campaign.
I should. Hey, what if I market New Zealand? Hey, they made what's it called? Hold on, Spartacus over there. I was like, what a violent show to be making in such a peaceful place.
yeah.
Talks more about trademarking one's name.
Right, but what
That's
does it say
right.
about, hold on, but what does it say about copywriting? There must be an affirmative,
Mm.
something decisive.
What did I have?
One of them I have says, well, you can't copyright a business name, you can trademark a business name. And then another
Amazing.
one,
Who said that?
hey,
Who said
Raymond,
it?
it's Raina. Raina.
Roger that, Raina.
Kia ora, Raina.
Good
Kia
stuff,
ora.
Raina.
Kia ora matua. Yeah.
Hey, what you call it? No, that's absolutely true. Yeah, you can't copyright a name. Why can't you copyright a name? Let me tell you why. Because copyright is for artworks, songs, stories, all kinds of fucking like finger painting stuff that's like curious.
Yeah.
But when you control the transactions with your name by making it a mark of trade, you can stop people from making an enrichment off of your name. Isn't that odd?
So Ramon, what do you reckon the guy that I saw that had his copyright next to his name, what do you think his intentions were there?
His
Do you think it was
intention is
misleading?
to fraud you or fraud himself.
Cool.
Excuse my American.
Gracias.
You see what I'm
Gracias.
saying? That is
Right.
literally what it is, because it's unfunctional. And the reason why I made a Google search is because everything I say, I encourage everybody to reverse engineer. Say, we don't trust you, Raymond. We're just going to take your statement and we're going to put it into Google and watch what Google says. And it's going to say Raymond's right all day, every day. And that's how you know that I'm actually telling you guys the truth. It's open source. Everything that I speak is going to be open source. It would make no sense to have some sort of private remedy that the government who's in the public doesn't understand nor would obey because it is not part of the social order.
Yep.
What would be the ramifications of him putting, or anybody putting, a copyright symbol next to a name?
Negation of any type of efforts to get a claim resolved.
Yep.
Wow.
Which means
Ignore.
that if he says, you violated me, the government's going to say, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and we can't service that.
That's right.
Syntax error 404 code. Anybody disagree? And you can. But if you do, your point of aim better be where your bullet hits, and you must produce an asset that contradicts me. Asset meaning a website or something credible.
Did you say syntax error 440?
404 code, meaning like internet connection not connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. AKA sarcasm.
402. Yeah.
Every new word that you express, I have to go to Google and find out what the heck you're saying. That's all. And just, just translating.
Please do.
Okay. So do we have any questions so far? I mean, thanks, Christopher.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's recap real quick. Do we understand that we can take our names and turn that into an asset in which, as a trademark, we can control all transactions that are associated with that name, including solicitors or judges or any type of payment that they get, that name is marked on a document, it becomes an article of infringement, and that as an intellectual property, we can stick it in a trust and have that managed so that maybe we don't have to do anything, but our trustees can go after everybody.
Yes.
Mm.
And it would still be a proper operation of law because the rights are legislated.
Yeah. You bind them to their own rules, their own system, their own, codes and acts. Yeah.
Their own tricks.
Their own tricks. Yeah.
Like I have felony cases that I could deliver right now from the United States, in which from your computers, you can Google it and see what happened to it off of what we call pacer.gov, which is our federal court systems. And you can see literally from your own home what happened to those cases that I operated on. And I can show you the news articles where they were persecuted, meaning like our Miami Herald and everything. And you'll see that they never got arrested, meaning they never went to jail because of the process, because we were able to control the transactions and there were two equal truths. Like you trademark infringe, which means that the case is initially contaminated because all articles that you had his name on were infringement for monetary gain, even though they were guilty of whatever they were guilty of. 19 felonies. I'm willing to put it on the table. Beer.
Wow.
How does it get better than this?
I have a question for someone who lives in Australia but had a birth, like, just wanted to know about whether they had a birth certificate name in New York, but they have a different, they changed it to here. So which one do they use?
Which one did they trademark?
Okay, watch this. If you're trying to, now this is the most logical answer. If you're trying to control trade, that means records that people get paid to handle, someone benefits from the use of financially, then where are they trying to protect themselves?
Yeah, I was wondering who would even have, like,
Because you can do both, but I'm trying to find out where do they need the first tourniquet?
Protection, yeah.
probably here. I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can cease and desist.
Amazing. So where do they need the first tourniquet? That is the most. If you're in Australia, you have to register. If you're in the United States, you just open up a website online and you get protections.
Wow.
Wow.
Branded t-shirt. Yeah, there's no legal requisite to or requirement to have to what you call it, trademark it. But if you're in koala land, I didn't say kiwi, I said koala, then you got to register it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
like good Commonwealth slaves.
No, you just register it and then snipe everybody the fuck out of their pockets.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It is
Look,
awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, look, let me explain something.
Question.
How do I say this because I know a lot of you meeting me the first time, but how do I say this in such a way where it embeds itself?
Say it.
Okay, you asked for it. There is no euphoria that I get more than slamming the shit out of a pompous judge where they're like, oh, we just trademark fish, but we're trying to get them for whatever. And it's like, look, I believe in God, never had a beer with him. So you're not getting my ass in a can. Financial, you know what I mean, distress.
Yeah.
It's literally that effective.
Mm.
Man, I need an example because the only examples that I can give you is that 19 felony case for right now. Everything else comes with an NDA on it. So if I protected the trademark, that's come with a non-disclosure, but I can't give you that 19 felony case.
Yes.
Who here wants it? How about I give it to you?
Yes.
Guys? All right, I want you to first look up a name on Google so that you can see the case. Then I'm gonna give you the indictment, and then it's up to you guys if you want to
Piece it all
research
together.
if Raymond eats crayons or not. Who here is willing to look up on the internet for the purpose of this discussion?
Ready.
What is it?
LUCV as in Victor, ENS. First name Francois, FRANCOIS. So like French and French. Luc Vens Francois versus the United States. Let me go grab that asset real quick.
What you doing, dog?
Huh?
Awesome.
Can you share screen it when someone has it? I didn't catch the name.
Yep, I got it.
I'm on my phone. I can't do this, or I won't be able to.
No
Oh,
problem.
Popeye.
Oh, whoops. What have I done? It's the wrong one. Hang on, guys. Oh no, am I on it?
No, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
this
see
is it.
something. Yes, that's it.
That's it.
I've
Eh?
got a
I'm not that one.
version of it. I've got a typed up one, is in like just a web page.
Right. Okay. So just let me know what the situation is on that page.
I just got to this bit that says Internal Revenue Service was an agency
Right.
of the United States Department of the Treasury. Oh, we gone. This screen moved.
Oh, sorry.
The Treasury responsible for administering the tax laws of the United States and collecting taxes owed to the United States. Well, that sounds fun already.
Right. Yeah. So there's 19. There you. Whoa! You got the indictment. There it is. That's the case. Awesome. Good job.
That's so good. That's
So
good.
check this out. And so it's open source. All you have to do is take that case number, the 1520, with the CR and all that shit. And okay, so and you can literally go on to pacer.gov and just, and there's even news articles about that story about how they got arrested. That's it. That's exactly it. And I'll even if you want, look, well, can you scroll down to the 19 felonies that are down? Keep going.
Ooh.
There they are. This guy is home. Home, never did nothing. Blasted his
Wow.
fucking case open.
Oh,
there was nothing better than beating them like they fucking owe me something.
Wow.
Okay, so this is open source.
Okay.
oh my God, this is going to be so great for all the New Zealanders that I know that are hiding in Australia because they haven't paid their student loan. And so they'll
Amazing.
never back. That's so funny.
Amazing.
Me,
All you
I'm
guys have to do is learn the process by its fundamentals, because in your countries, respectively, we share the same values when it comes to property rights, especially in intellectual property and trademark, due to the fact that it's an international component and we like to sell shit to each other and protect each other even in combat. No wonder we're all speaking English.
Okay, I will share that in the
Did that say 3 years in prison or 250? How many zeros was that?
But the cool thing is, if you read the articles from the Miami Herald, which are on the same Google source.
okay.
I'll let my scroll.
You'll see that he had a co-defendant, and his co-defendant was not so lucky because his co-defendant had his own headache, and Luc Vens actually found me in 2015. So I've been doing this for a while.
Wow.
So this is not a drill. I was in my 20s, going to law school, was like, fuck it. And then after that, let me give you an example of something. 15 USC 1117 says if it's a willful infringement, you send them a cease and desist and the government keeps on, it's up to 2 million plus treble damages, depending on their attitude.
Okay.
What does that mean? That means that each time that they use the name, each article that they use the name that's infringing, each article is each page. So if they use it 3 times on a page, we're not going to nitpick and split hairs. But if they use it on 4 pages, 2 million plus the 2 pages. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I get I got an infringement, so they wrote my name on the infringement. Then they wrote the name on the bail form, and then they wrote the name on the summons and the court documents. So when you add how many times I've infringed on my trademark,
Right.
that's how much.
Sorry about the background noise.
All good, all good.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But what we're going to do is we're going to find the legal equivalent in your locality so that we can go ahead and let them pay the piper. I didn't write this shit. You know what I mean? They believe in this. I'm just a conquered class and I speak your language. Pay me. And that's the awesome part of it. Went to law school, did a few years, right? It's only 3 years in the United States after a bachelor's. But I hit my first tort claim within 2 years, 2 months. And I was like, fuck this. I don't care about your license. I'll sue the shit out of everybody. But there are people out here getting welfare for no goddamn reason, for bad decisions. I'll just keep suing all these banks. And that's what I did. I made a habit out of it. If that makes sense.
Well, it makes total sense to me.
So before they put a bullet in my head while I'm in a pizzeria trying to take a dump, some unmarked black vehicle with like 6 agents all looking alike, so I can't tell who's who, not even anybody who looks at the camera, like, you know, Men in Black type crap. It never happened, never will, because the government agrees with it in the United States. But before it does, I'll keep running my mouth. I'm not lying. We'll just keep using Google, and I'm only sharing open sourced information.
Amazing.
I mean, I didn't write it on Google. They wrote it on Google. I'm just like, look, there it is, reporting. Look, I'm a news reporter. Here's the news of the day. And then here's a couple of documents that give you good notes in which, if employed, you too can copy it. Does that make sense?
Does.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
And then we're going to go on a journey together. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not a excuse my Swahili, but I'm not even Swahili, but like, I'm just American. But here's the deal. But we'll go on a journey together and find the legal equivalence. And what we will do is we will make it combat effective in your zone, in your locality.
Nice.
Who wants in? Who
In.
wants to jump
That
on this
sounds
walker
awesome.
with me, with us?
Hey,
There's a
let me
few
ask you
here.
guys a question. How many people keep referencing Google while they're talking, while they're trying to tell you about a secure party credit or anything? If you've been down that path for a while, if you haven't and you're just new, good Lord, because at least you came to the right spot and you're not contaminated by all the BS these fuckers talk about.
Yeah. I'll be
But
honest,
have you-
Whanau, that's me, you know. I was doing that process, but I never questioned it, only because of my own infancy on this journey, you know. I trusted a lot of the people that I was doing it with, and
We're operating in good faith.
operating in good faith, absolutely, you know, and they obviously learned it from somewhere in Tamir, and it made sense theoretically, but there was nowhere to actually vet that information.
Right. Okay. Let me give you an example. In Tupo, I'm not talking negative when I say this. So just please, just bear with me. You know how, like they said, Hunter Biden didn't have a laptop? Yeah, more people said he didn't than he did. And the ones that said he did, we knew this a long time ago, and now he's being persecuted. I'm the guy that knew Hunter Biden's laptop existed, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to give you guys. Like, that guy got a laptop. Like, somebody left it somewhere, and everybody's turning their faces, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's the secure party creditor process. There's no such thing as a secure party creditor. If you put in secured party creditor into Google, what does it say? It says
bank,
some other asshole's fucking dialogue. But if you put in secured party or secured creditor, they have legal premises.
Yep.
So what the secure party creditor is really trying to say is that I'm the guy that's given the assets. and I am secured because I am not that asset. That's really what they're saying. But that's like a subcultural language. It's almost like me saying, yeah, I mean, from New York. Yeah, I mean, which is really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
mm.
you guys have heard that. I know you guys have heard it. They got all kinds of stuff going on over hip hop and crap, all this poisonous stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, it's not really language. It's just subcultural. But what we want is we want to be able to have parity, even in our language. Example, that's why my black ass talks fucking English. Real English that you can Google. You know, I'm just joking, just joking. If you're offended, please don't be. I'll cut my hair. Let's do it. All right. So do we get what I mean? With the secure party creditor process, it's a fiction.
Yep.
The entire thing. But it's a wrong translation of actual legalities. But and there is a one-for-one trade into making it functional, but you have to learn what is functional in order to know what they have mistaken.
Yep.
And if you really were to study the secure party creditor process, you would be able to do it pretty expeditiously. Just there's just so many talking fucking heads, man, that it's just ridiculous. Everybody's like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Listen, you stop the transactions, your whole case is contaminated, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. Why do the slow death when you can just go straight to the jugular and just get it done?
That's right. Any questions from anybody?
Yes, I got a question in terms of trusts.
Go ahead.
Any trust that one has to register under statute, I'm not interested in.
Are you sure that you have to?
What?
Are you sure that you have to register a trust under statute?
No, so I'm wanting clarity around that too. Like a pure trust, very, silent trust, similar, I guess, to revocable or irrevocable, and they have their different attributes. And
I'm going to give you the cutthroat way internationally how to do it.
Copy.
Irrevocable, and that's it.
That just makes it bam, that's it, cut off.
Over. No more discussion, meaning like literally, no more discussion in any forum. Okay. The reason why, now I'm gonna explain to you why. If I make a pure trust, does that exist? Well, yeah. I can make a dynasty trust. I could make spendthrift. I can make, but an irrevocable trust creates literally in its own creation a separate legal distinct entity. Therefore, you as a human are not doing anything. See, when you're a grantor, example, grantor's trust, which is a revocable trust. That's really what it is. If you were to get sued, do you know where they can also search for assets to pay off the debt? We're assuming in your trust, and that would be exactly it. But when you make an irrevocable trust, you could get sued 1,000 times by Chinese dictators. Kill one, insert the other one there. And you would have the debt, but your trust wouldn't. Does that make sense?
I would have the debt, but
so you could have 15,000 Lamborghinis in your trust, and they're not getting shit.
Yeah. That's what I want, to secure the assets.
Right. The name of the game is control everything and own nothing, right?
Nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how you create that legal dichotomy of what's yours and what's not, even if you're controlling for the benefit of beneficiaries. Maintaining the same way you would maintain your own vehicle. That's how you create it. That's how you create legal dispersion.
Yep.
Any other questions? I got time, guys. I'm not rushing. I know some of you might need Tylenol because I talk like, and it's probably like, oh shit, he filled my head with all this crap.
Shorty's got a, yeah.
So this trust, is it the same as a private discretionary trust? Are they similar?
Similar in the sense that that's a great question.
Yeah,
Similar in the sense that that is exactly why the trustees will have so much control. The beneficiaries can only get what the trustees say, but since you're a good grantor and I'm gonna train you, you're gonna make sure that it's dictated in that trust declaration. It's gonna say, Shorty Simpson says, you motherfucking trustees, you indentured servants, you bitches are gonna have to fucking give the beneficiaries XYZ, and you're gonna designate trust protectors to ensure that. And let's say you become a grandmama and you didn't put beneficiaries as your grandkids. The trust protectors have the legal ability to amend the trust declaration to ensure your intent because they know you would love your offspring's offspring.
Oh.
And when you designate trust protectors, the beneficiaries must go to the trust protectors instead of going to a court, which means no attorney's fees. And if they do, Raymond's going to teach you how to put in what's called a beneficiaries no contest clause. Anybody want to Google that real quick?
Who's got that? Oh yeah, I got that.
I know those of you who are on Saturday know what it is, but we're going to go ahead and let those who are here now evolve.
Awesome. No contest clause and trust.
Okay, you can read it if you've acquired the information faster than everybody else.
I'll see if someone else has got it.
Okay.
Oh, Lady Sunshine keeps getting kicked off. Would you like me to read it or? Oh,
A
yeah,
no
awesome.
contest clause, this is what I'm reading, what I found, also known as the in terrorem clause or the terror clause, is a provision that you can include in a will or a trust stating that if a beneficiary takes legal action contesting the will, that person will lose out on his portion of the inheritance.
Amazing. So the minute that those fuck-faced dirtbags, ungrateful fucks step into court, they just landmined their benefit and therefore have no standing. So if you got a brat, you got a checks and balance for that ass. How about that? Does that make sense? How many times have you guys ever, amazing, they put it in. There you go. So how many times have you heard of people battling and crying and whining and shafting people out of the estate from the party that has the estate because they're dead now?
All the time.
So now you get to hit them with a Heineken bottle in the form of a clause. Here you go, fucker. Bow. Now you're no longer in the trust. You want to be greedy? Yeah, speak up. I can't hear your broke ass from down there. That's what you're going to tell them. Does that make sense or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, guys, when I create trusts, it's about trust. It's in the name.
Yeah.
It would be insidious and a dereliction of competency to have a trust drafted in which you cannot trust the parties or members. They better be cult-like and they better follow the goddamn mission. Anything less is a revolt against your very intent, and they must be crucified, especially at the bar.
Yeah.
Who disagrees with that?
Not at all.
right? Because the whole reason why you granted it. See, for example, I made a living out of bounty hunting off of state entities because those things are dead. I don't know why they try to tell me what to do. I don't know why they try to force a diaper on my face. I don't care. But the truth of the matter is that if they're my public servants, I will work them. They are, and if not, they must and they will. I promise you, pay me. There are very few individuals who would be not arrogant, truthful enough to put a felony indictment with 19 felonies on a freaking screen and then say, this is the guy, this is the thing, go ahead and research it.
Mm.
And if you have the equivalent, provide it. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting from here till you got it. So here's what I'm saying. But when you create trust, you must also protect it from contaminants. And that includes people's ego. That includes people's lack of capacity. That includes people's greed. It must function the way you created it. You are the God of it.
Yeah.
That means if they're going to pray for anything, they're going to start praying to your mission. There is no relief outside of the mission and its completion. And that is the thing. I said it Saturday. The entire United States, all our systems, even the laws, even the most fundamental principles are based on Judeo-Christian authority. Which means that if we were made in his image and their image, we must create entities that are in our image, which we are in his. And therefore, that is it. So when you create a trust declaration, everybody's bound if they assume the benefits thereof or the management thereof. Does that make sense or no?
Mhm.
That's pretty, yeah.
So let's say if they all believed there was sock puppets and just aliens and whatever they mimicked, we must mimic in order to be able to actually function the machine or function within it. Because if not, they can't conceive it and they're just gonna, I don't know. No remedy. Anybody disagree with that concept? Anybody have a question on that concept? Okay.
Still getting the concept.
Huh?
What's that, brother?
I said I'm still
Take your
gaining
time.
the concept.
Oh, you're still gaining the concept. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to take time to do. Okay, we're gonna get that concept down. But for those of you who do kind of understand it, this is the preface. Literally preface, because we haven't even faced it yet. It's literally the preface.
I like to say, you know, who wants to be the Michael Jordan? Who wants to be the Calvin Klein? Who wants to be the, you know, Christian Dior, the Elizabeth Arden? You know, they are brands, but they are also people. So I am the next, you know, Christian Dior, you know, that's how I'm thinking my brand is going to, that's the intention of my brand, to be global, to be an enterprise, to be, you know, a brand. So obviously I need to protect that brand, and I protect it by trademarking it. But then I secure it by putting it into an irrevocable trust with a choice of law in the Cook Islands. This is outside
Right,
our
but it
jurisdiction.
has a secondary function of protection on outside transactions that might actually affect a human being. If you're good for business, you're good cattle. It's weird, but at least you will be able to harvest them instead of being harvested.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree with that or not understand that?
Not quite.
Not quite? Okay.
Not quite.
I'm changing devices because this device is gonna die.
Yep.
Can you let me in?
Gotcha.
There we go. Hold on, I'm waiting for it to connect. There we go. I'm gonna X out of this one. Yeah, all kinds of nefarious shit happening with battery power. Made in China. How about that? All right, so ultimately, here's the deal. There is a concept called mirror image law. Can someone look at that? On Google, obviously. Mirror image law. What does it say? Let me check if I close the garage to my gym real quick. I'm gonna go check the gym.
The mirror image rule means that when you accept an agreement, you're doing so based on the exact terms of the original offer.
Okay. Okay, that's one way. Now, can you check up mirror image rule? Or
Yeah,
doctrine?
I got it.
Yeah,
In
that
the
makes
law
sense.
of contracts, in the law of contracts, the mirror image rule, also referred to as an unequivocal and absolute acceptance requirement, states that an offer must be accepted exactly with no modifications. The offerer is the master of their own offer. An attempt to accept the offer on different terms instead creates a counter offer, and this constitutes a rejection of the original offer.
And what is your source of that? Both of them are correct.
DuckDuckGo, it's got Wikipedia just on the side there.
Wikipedia, yeah.
Okay, let's look for a source outside of Wikipedia just for collegiate purposes.
Okay.
There's one in the incorporated zone. I don't know where that is. The mirror image rule law, a contract is formed when a person makes an offer to another person to be legally bound by some terms and conditions, and the other party accepts the offer as is. When the offer is accepted, the mirror image rule applies and a contract is legally formed. For example, if you are looking to renovate your house, you may negotiate with a contractor. If the contractor, and I've got to carry on to the example, but yeah, that's the, do you want the example? We will define mirror image rule, look at this legal notion under the common law, how it applies in a transaction is governed by the UCC, how it affects the enforceability of contracts and more.
All right, so let me break that down, Raina, because you sound a little muffled.
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal.
Break it down,
Long story
Raymond.
short. Long story short. If the government exists as it is, and you accept your servants to be serpents, and you do not hit it with a counteroffer that is legally viable, that contract is formed. But breaking it down a little more, if they do, or if anyone is to make you an offer, whether it's a written contract, making it an implication, or a written contract, which is expressed, or an implied contract, which is verbally expressed with no writing. And you do not assume equity or parity with them. For example, the state is a dead entity. Your irrevocable trust is a dead entity. They say you broke a law. You must say they broke a law, but it must be a law that pierces their immunity the same way that a free citizen would have his or her immunity pierced in the event of a breach of social norms. Does that make sense or no?
Give us an example. Can you give us an example?
Yeah, I can give you a very direct example. Look, the state is a dead thing, and you got these fuckface trustees in the public telling me that I did something wrong. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a fucking dead thing known as an irrevocable trust, and my trustees are going to tell them they did something wrong by trying to benefit financially off of my persecution. Now, I'm the middleman, but my dead thing and their dead thing are going to argue it out, and so are the trustees. And they're going to fucking pay me because I accepted their offer with parity. Like, you're king? No, I'm king. And you agree I'm king because it's in your books that my shit, that thing, can live and protect its assets. And that's protection for my ass. That's asset protection.
Asset protection.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's in a very simple way.
Well,
So that's
it's
what I do,
also
and it fucking smokes them every time. And they're just like, oh God, oh God, oh God, it's in our books. Oh God, the spells. You spelled it out. Get bound.
exactly.
Get bound.
Mhm,
You know?
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, with your witchcraft over there telling me I fucking passed the red light. Who said that thing? Fuck out of here. You want $60? Okay, good. Pay me up to $2 million for the trademark infringement. You made a financial gain. You're over here giving me a bill. I need you to pay me now, servant. And that's really what happens. And then they're like, oh, we'll let it go. And that's it. That's really what happens. Who here doesn't understand that? Because that's what you're going to learn to do here, plus manage assets in normality. Does that make sense? Like grandkids, the benefit of whatever you're going to leave them and things like that. But the real way.
Yes.
Does that make sense? But at the same time, you'll be able to protect your livelihood and teach them that trade secret, and they will also be able to protect their livelihood. It's not going to be, oh, COVID mask, taser. It's going to be like, okay, wait. I'll just put on my mask. Okay, I'll just go over here. You know what I mean? Oh, you need a vaccine for this. Not taking a vaccine. Oh, you're trying to, okay, who's getting paid for this? Oh, yeah? Who's getting paid to force me to take a vaccine? Then you benefit. You'll get an injunction. Anybody that makes a dollar off of persecuting your name, you will be able to control the trade regarding it because these people feed their families by trying to fucking taser you, if that makes sense. And that includes banks. Let me give you an example of a bank real quick. Here's one definition, and then I'll let Tupo take over in case you guys gotta go. Okay, because I know it's been an hour. I'm not tired. I'm fucking live wire. Beer. So here's the deal. I want somebody to look up air loan.
Interesting.
Air, A-I-R, or air, H-E-I-R. Which air?
Yeah, air like A-I-R, Raina, and then space loan, like L-O-A-N.
Type of mortgage fraud.
Right, what is it? Can't read it.
It seeks to profit from unsuspecting lenders. A mortgage broker invents both a property and a borrower in order to earn false profits on completed loan transactions. Well,
now,
we know
watch
how
this.
easy they can
You
do
signed
that
it. Right? Now, if you sign it, right, and your name somehow gets squeegeed off of it from a trust saying, I'm a separate legal distinct entity, why are you making business off of my mark and trade? Then even though you signed it, it forces it into air loan status.
Oh.
I thought there wasn't really any fucking money. So what are they printing? So now we can go ahead and remove the name off of the contract, and guess what? Beat them at their own fucking shit. Does that make sense, or does that not make sense? By forcing and compelling an heir loan to be created out of a mortgage, because the irrevocable trust, who is non-signatory, has the ability to check the transaction that the human did due to the fact that they're separate legal distinct entities, and one has a property right over the mark and brand on the transaction in which the bank stands to profit when they don't need accredited bullshit. They're like, oh yeah, sign this contract. Yeah. We'll get the deed. Yeah. Promissory note. Yeah. Credit. Yeah. Fucking 2046 balance sheet. There you go. Effected.
Damn.
The digital input. So who the hell are they talking about? And it's legally enforceable. Oh, you guys want to commit mortgage fraud, huh? Your trustee can literally send a cease and desist, wear a pinky ring and a Jesus piece on a necklace, on a Cuban link, and say, look at this medallion. He forgives, I don't. You took my property. I'm dead serious. It literally works like that.
That's amazing.
Okay, Tupo, translate for all those that got lost in the air loan.
Okay. So if you've got loan agreements, right? That's your trust, but because you're a separate entity, the trust owns that mark, and they didn't give authorization for that transaction, turning that mortgage into the air loan, right? Correct?
Yes, 97%.
Okay, I'll take that. It's all right.
All right, so here's the 3% error. The trust owns the trademark.
Yeah.
You
Trustee.
are a human who signed that loan. But your trust controlling a trademark is not a legal identity.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that the contract creates a loan transaction, your trust as not being the entity or corporation or individual who signed can actually ask, you guys have a loan, that's trade, why are you using my mark of trade? The bank has the loan and says, hot potato, this potato is hot. Because the trust is still true even if the individual gave authorization. Why? Because the trust is an irrevocable trust, a separate legal distinct entity, and it's supposed to protect its assets, and property rights is a thing under the eyes of the law. So you're asking about a property as opposed to an authorization. And although it could have been authorized by a human, there is still a separate yet equally viable legal argument that can challenge the loan. And if you think about it, bankers usually and normally just take the transaction of the loan and the promissory note, deposit that, throw it into a REMIC, and they're like, oh yeah, the obligation is in itself a credit. But by you controlling the trademark, you can literally get an injunction against the transfer of that name or the authorization, therefore debasing and devaluing the loan, and it's completely legal, and the human never did anything wrong. And that would be an heir loan in which, by injunction or in order to or refrain from using that trademark or that name, because it's similar, trademarks operate on similarities. They don't operate on exactness. You guys can look that up.
Yeah. Yes.
Both things would be legally viable, only that one would leverage the other, therefore turning that loan into an heir loan. And if the bank is conducting heir loans in the United States, the FBI has every reason to go ahead and grab Satan's rifles and stick a gun in their mouths like federal crime. So normally, after a cease and desist, they usually will negotiate in the legal department for you to give them a little bit of amnesty and yet let go of the credit because they never had any money to give to you to begin with. And it becomes an exact discharge of debt without profit from the lender, supposedly or purportedly. Look, let me give you one more example. If the bank tells me that this shit is real, I want everybody to look. You guys looking?
Yep.
Hold up. I took my finger off. What I'm going to tell them is good, now pay me for lying. I don't know what else to say because it's all fiat and it's all credit balance sheets. And they could take they could deal with it. I'm pretty sure there's another dolphin in the ocean that they could stuff their blowhole and drown them instead of you in debt.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, if Hillary Clinton could walk away with her whole bleach bit fucking server and try to bitch and complain and get fined by the FEC, goddamn, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, you guys could get rid of those loans with actually some legal premise other than political connections. I promise you guys. Just giving you an example. I know Hillary Clinton doesn't run your systems, but I'm just telling you, I'm a victim. Joe Biden's president. He's a potato. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we know.
Either
Right,
that or
he's
it's cabbage.
That's right. He's affecting everything, including the coral reefs. I mean, reefs underwater in the Caribbean. You don't know how many starfish I've had come up to shore and say, "What the fuck is that potato doing in your office?" I'm just kidding. I mean, it's crazy. The world is crazy right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Whanau, anyone else got any questions? I'm way too boring compared to you, Raymond. So you just stay on for as long as you can.
Oh man, I was about to go grab a spoon and eat paint chips for my wall.
Anyway,
Yeah, get some of that lead poisoning, make myself bulletproof. I'm developing a tolerance to lead.
if anybody else has got some questions.
So one of my main concerns, Raymond, is the
Yes.
trustees. So will you train us to train so we know how to administrate our trust in accordance to our declaration deed?
I'm going to let you ask it only so that everybody can get the benefit of the question, but I'm already at the end of your statement.
Yeah.
Who the hell is capping it? Is the real question.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Raina, I did have a little discussion with Tupo today. I've got some people that I think we could all maybe actually use that I know and trust that would be really good at this. So we were talking about that today. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know.
I think basically everyone needs to do Raymond's course. Everybody needs to do his classes.
I'm turning on all the light because I'm dark as fuck and I don't want you guys to miss my stupid face.
It ain't stupid,
Yeah, the
brother.
shadows in the room take away from me.
But yeah, I think to get the competence and the confidence in setting this up the right way and not making any errors, I think you've got an amazing opportunity. Well, just so you guys know, this is where I wanted you guys to get an insight into this, because I know that trust has been a huge topic in our circles for a long time, but no one really has provided me with the piece of paper or a guide and how to set it up properly to protect not just our assets as in our property, our car, our wedding dress or rings or jewelry, but I'm meaning our most prized assets, which is our children, our family, So Raymond's starting on Sunday. He's gonna be doing some classes. It's a 6-week intensive, okay? And you'll get all the assets. You'll get his trust document. We will go down, like he said, we're going to break it all down and make it, what's that word that you said?
Legally comparable to your system.
To our system, And if that's something that you guys want to be, want to jump in on.
Most of them are in Australia, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay,
well,
so check this
on
out. So
Saturday,
me and
most
Willie-
was on Australia, but tonight most is from New Zealand at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's right. We said that. Okay. Yeah, because I had a cheat sheet for Australia. I just,
Yes.
After they join, I just, but because I like everything readily referenceable. But
yeah.
No. I mean, it's 6 weeks to start, but then we will after the 6 weeks, it rotates and we keep going further and further, but we'll speak about that then. And meaning it can go up to a year, 2 years. I don't care. Look, if you guys want to be master freaking trustees, and then watch me watch you on the wins. I'm here. I mean, I offered one win. I challenge you to ask somebody else, show me something.
Yeah.
Put it on the table, don't just talk. And watch what they do. They'll say, oh, I've won one here. Okay, very well. Can you show me?
Yep.
I mean, they won't give you an indictment to research on your own. I promise. They'll say, oh yeah, but maybe there was this elf that came out of a boot somewhere and sewed it back together. I don't have time for that. I could care less. Just like you guys don't have time for that, I'm pretty sure.
Mm. Yeah.
Hey, I bet you I'm the youngest person in this room. And I don't have time for that. It's like, no, I don't have time for that. I have to be hooked up to my charger. So I'm at the wall, just like kind of like angling it.
No worries.
My other device is at 4%. And the other one is on, I don't know, Luciferian time. That shit's under. That shit's crazy. But go ahead. Does anybody have any other questions? I mean, you can pick my brain. I'm giving the time. I'm over here in America. I'm in California. It's like 2:20 a.m. and I'm not tired. I'm excited because you guys seem a little bit excited. You were engaging, and that is awesome.
Mm.
It's when you guys start acting like librarians that I'm like, oh yeah, it was an hour. Pull parachute.
Ramon, I got a question.
Interrogate.
Okay, there's a guy here in Australia named Romley Stewart. He has a channel called Justinian Deception. He talks about two birth certificates, creditor and a debtor birth certificate. Are you familiar with this?
Check this out. Let me ask you one question, and I'm going to debase everything that he said. Give me one law in which it says having two birth certificates does anything that the end game of his process is asking.
Yeah, I've only heard of it through him. Now he talks about
Right.
Australia. He's left his Australian citizenship. He left Australia, went to Norfolk Island. This is what he says. Then he renounced, is it? He let go of his Australian citizenship and reapplied for Terra Australis. So when he came back, are you familiar with Terra Australis being the original land before Australia?
Sounds like a cyborg, excuse my Swahili again, cyborg koala, but go ahead.
That's about it. Oh, he
But
says
do you
heaps
see
of
what I'm
stuff,
sa-
but I just want to
but
know
the-
if you knew about the two birth certificates.
Very good question. So in America, right, everybody always talks about if you control the birth certificate, you already have the birth certificate in your hand. Does that make sense or no?
No.
Okay, I get.
Yep.
Okay, so I get where your question is coming from. What is the legal remedy of its control, in which you could have some sort of sovereign immunity to having to be obligated by legislation from people or endure the penalty thereof?
Mm.
Is that fair
Mm.
of my
Yeah.
interpretation?
Yeah.
Right.
Nailed it.
So, right. Okay. Nailed it. Okay. So my question was really to make you ponder that if you were to follow his process on the way that you heard it at its most basic form, what would the remedy be?
Mm.
It would be leave me alone. So what I would ask you is there a legislation or some sort of high court precedence
Mm.
in which the result of said process would lead to
Leaving them alone.
leaving you alone?
Like,
And what you're telling me is well, I've heard of it,
Mm.
which is okay, you can hear. And I'm asking you, Raymond, because I don't know. And what I'm saying is that in my calculations, and of every birth certificate quasi process that I've heard, it's quasi, not the actual. Like, for example, just an example. If I were to grab plaster from my wall and say it was some Mexican cartel cocaine and it's the most pure, and you were to sniff that, you'd be like, what the fuck? This shit is nothing. What the hell? My face burns. And what I'm saying is that it sounds like that process would do that if it doesn't come with some efficacy.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So excuse my joke for all of you guys that are super Christian and super like I just eat plants, but it's just me painting a picture just so that we can put it on the table in such a shocking way so that we can ignore when they say birth certificate would give me legal remedy. The government would look at you and say we have rifles and we have guns, and how much is it going to cost us to blow your head off because you're not complying? Immunity? Good, blow his head off. That's what they're going to say. And what I'm saying is we can be a lot more cordial with unsynthetic processes, actual mixtures of their own legal synthetic system, which would be real to them, and hold them accountable. And they will do accounting at the table.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Heaps
That
of
was
sense.
a great question.
Yeah, and while we're on this, because then I can just you sound like you know a lot more than anyone else that I've ever spoke to about it. So let's be clear: the live birth record when you're born in the hospital,
right?
Is that? Then there's the registration from one of the parents, and then there's the birth certificate. So there's kind of those three, and that's. Is there anything else involved in like? Or is that it until you apply for a driver's license and a passport and
right. Okay, so the certificate allows you to get driver's licenses and passports. The record is just hey, this guy was born here.
Yeah,
that's it. Doctor's records. And
are those kept in the Vatican? The live birth records?
No.
What I see with that in terms of your questioning, Christopher, is there's actually no remedy there, really.
That's really what it comes down to. There's no remedy because there's no legal precedence of any sort, even legislated, that would say that just controlling that, you would somehow have some sort of immunity in which the state cannot penetrate. For example, let me give you an example. There is a concept in all English law that's called minimum context. Can you look that up, Christopher?
Yeah, I'll just write it down first before I forget it.
Okay,
Minimum
good
context.
Job. Minimum context.
Yeah, I'll jump off there.
These are great questions that you're asking. Because they're basic, and there are a lot of misconceptions based on that basic question. That is awesome that you would present such a thing. I appreciate it.
Minimum Australian context gap. That's what's coming up first. I use DuckDuckGo. I don't have Google here.
It's okay. It's okay. Censorship, some shit. Yeah, I got you. DuckDuckGo instead of Google. Gotcha.
There's a lot of stuff there. Should I just go into that first one? Minimum Australian context gap. Is that sort of what?
Okay.
That something
minimum context. Okay. Legal definition.
Yep. Righto. Shit, that's a big definition.
Yeah, that shit looks like Psalms.
Fuck, I can't read all that out.
Okay, give me the first few sentences.
I'll give you
so I could,
if jurisdiction in this case is in personam or quasi in rem over a person or property or a debt owed by a person, the court may not exercise that jurisdiction unless the defendant has minimum contacts with the state in which the court sits, the forum state. Generally,
okay, so watch this. Hold on, right there. So they gave you 3 different types of jurisdictions, right? That means body, right? In personam, body, meaning your body, or quasi, which means over your body for something that's not really criminal, but due to the intrinsic differences, it could be considered in the likeness of criminal, and therefore we will give you harsh civil liabilities. For example, like a father that doesn't pay child support, they didn't really not cook the fucking chicken nuggets for the kids, but their lack of giving that child support probably deprived the kid of some chicken nuggets that they could have had. So therefore, stick your ass in jail. And then there's the last one, which is, and say it again.
Minimum contacts. Was that the
In
court, the
personam
court may
quasi,
not?
and then
In
there was one
rem,
more.
in rem,
In
quasi
rem,
in rem.
which
Oh,
is,
yeah,
which is, this is a civil suit, but the law has a statute that we can sticky tape to you because you injured somebody for financial liability.
Right.
Okay, so what do all three have in common? That there's probably a statute or a concept somewhere in which somebody could get remedy for the injury, correct or incorrect?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so now here is the takeaway. Okay, you're fine. You can. Okay, my wife kicked me out of my own fucking room and she called me Satan himself because she's like, I want to go to sleep, babe. And she all said it in Spanish and shit, and it wasn't even in English and there was no subtitles, so sorry. So, so here's the deal. All right. So there's that three with the remedy. But if you think about it, man, I hate this fucking darkness, because then there's like shadows and shit, and I feel like I'm not like Instagram. I need a filter or some shit. Look, here's the deal. So the key takeaway is this, that when you make contact with the state, they're the ones that are gonna have the purview over the action, in which when you commit it, they will be inherently forced to enforce the purview of the action and their judicial authority to try to see who the hell got injured and what does it mean to us. Example, if I am in, what the hell is this shit called? Sharia law. And my wife cheats on me and I prove it, I get to hit her with rocks. And so does the village. but it's such an extreme example, right? It's criminal. But in America, she gets to walk away with my babies and steal me for everything I got. Difference. So it depends on the sovereign state who is going to take care of the adjudication. So if you make minimum contacts by committing an act within the state, they are going to look at it in such a way that the social order dictates. Thank God for America. We're not stoning people in the middle of the street for mundane crap. I won't really call it mundane, but whatever. That's the best example I could give you because it's extreme enough. Does that make sense, Christopher?
Yeah.
So when you're operating in Australia, you're making minimum contacts by trying to ask for immunity. And what is their purview on that birth certificate? Equal sign. It's a piece of paper. Okay, you're Australia, you're an Aussie. All right. And what are you saying? Crown immunity? Where's your crown? Does that make sense?
Yeah, brother.
Okay, now watch this. With trademark, it's actually viable because you're talking about their waiver of crown immunity. Can you look that one last term up?
Yeah. Crown immunity.
Waiver of crown immunity. And by finding where and when the state waives crown immunity in your locale, you're going to find out that a lot of it has to do with commerce. Like if we do a transaction in which we violate a trademark and we trademark infringe, then you can put in a Google waiver of crown immunity due to trademark infringement, and you're going to see they're all slaves. Does that make sense or no? Well, let it make sense once you get the evidence.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm into something some piece of legislation. Tupo, were you typing that up too?
Yeah. I've got here a Wikipedia definition. It says the United States has waived sovereign immunity to a limited extent.
Which is crown immunity.
Yep. Mainly through the Federal Tort Claims Act, which
No, hold on. No, that's for civil rights violations in which That FTCA is Federal Tort Claims Act.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much if they violate the Constitution, and there's a Supreme Court precedent that specifically says that they waive immunity for the specific action, and that is their purview. But what I'm saying is waiver of crown immunity due to trademark infringement.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see how I brought it back to the exact, because that is the vital, that is the
I
jugular.
need my computer. Don't take it.
Two.
Get it, Takeri?
What's that last bit again? Due to
crown immunity.
waiver of crown immunity.
immunity.
Due to trademark infringement.
Okay.
Damn.
And you're going to see that it is an IPIED, an intellectual property improvised explosive device, because they said so, not because we said so, but because they wrote it.
Intellectual property, state immunity, and infringement actions.
And it's a waiver of crown immunity to your locale? And it starts giving you data? You got to let me know, Tupo.
Yeah,
Because
I've got.
I'm over here with my
I'm in a govinfo.gov page. So that was.
It can't be American. It has to be yours.
Yeah, we're just trying to find.
I can't be a fake gangster over here. I have to like kind of like marshal their assets and their money.
Yeah, we've got there's sovereign immunity in Australia, Jones Day, and I'm looking at that, but this has got something to do with Hong Kong and Singapore.
No, hold on, because it's international on its totality. And that's what makes it so potent even in your jurisdiction. But that's why I said waiver of, so waiver of crown immunity due to trademark infringement, and add your country, New Zealand, or that way we get specific. We gotta put a fucking electron microscope on this theory over here, right? Supposedly it's a theory till it's proven.
There's New South Wales legislation here. Is that what you got, Tupo?
Oh yeah, no.
Have a look at that. That'll be good.
This law binds the Crown and right of this jurisdiction, and insofar as the legislative power of the Parliament of this jurisdiction permits, the Crown in all its other capacities. No criminal liability attaches to the Crown itself as distinct from agents.
Okay, but is that as a factor of waiver of crown immunity due to trademark infringement?
Yeah, that's really hard to
that's
find.
What came up?
Yeah, that's all that came up.
No, listen. So what it's saying in English is the Crown is dead in the water the minute that it does trademark infringe, as long as, or consistent with, how far the legislature has said. So in the United States, they pay $2 million per infringing article. So what we're trying to do is get a bang for our buck. And what we're trying to say is that how many of you guys transacted in my persecution? Okay, you're right. I had 50,000 fucking assault rifles. But at the same time, the trustees, not you, the trust, not you, even if it's vicarious, not you, that irrevocable trust, it is also true that we have a control over the trademark, and you motherfuckers owe us money because you benefited It's an infringement. And pursuant to your laws, we sent you a cease and desist, and you willfully infringed. And therefore, bye-bye crown immunity. You're not king anymore, bitches. Listen, it's about business. You guys are busy freaking like, who's it gonna hurt if you let me go?
Yeah.
Nobody. So who's it gonna hurt if you persecute me? You. So pay me. Does that make sense or no?
So how do you avoid the frivolous and vexatious?
By
yes.
sending them a cease and desist, which gives them an opportunity to cure or waive their immunity. That is
Okay.
the grace.
Yep.
That is literally the legal grace. That's why most waiver of crown immunity or sovereign immunity must be done willfully.
Yes.
You won't be able to sue them for just, oh, clerical error.
Yeah. Because they knew about it.
That's the only way. If not, your shit's dead in the water. And usually when they stop on the first time,
Yeah.
so goes your case. It's called sua sponte. SUA space SPONTE.
Sua sponte. I looked that up before. Where is that? Sua sponte.
Yeah, that's a gem of an action.
Voluntarily.
That's right. Voluntarily. Okay, we'll let it go, because if not, it's a double-edged sword, and we're going to stab us for being idiots because the same entity that we work for says, Lego the ego.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys understand that, but do you guys eat Eggo waffles?
Waffles.
Eggo waffles.
Eggo. No.
Yeah, you guys never heard of that? Yeah, so I
No.
got to make sure my jokes are vernacular. Eggo waffles. They have a saying, Lego the ego, or Lego my ego, which is it's waffles, but it's a brand of waffles in the United States, and it's a joke that they sell it on commercials.
Awesome. Okay, so that one.
So does that make sense, or did I draw it out at all a little bit? Meaning, like, did I paint the schematic at all with legal definitions and viability due to those legal definitions?
Yeah, I guess we just need to do the research to make sure that we've got the same
Damn, I'm so up in the camera.
the same, whatchamacallit, the
Here's a picture
equivalent
of
on
me
this
without a
side.
beard.
Mhm.
Just kidding. All right, yeah. So that's really what it comes down to. So
Yeah.
that is exactly what we're going to learn how to effect in the course.
Yeah.
See, because and Christopher asked such good questions, man. Very basic, but it's how do I say this? Let me find the words so that it's a very good basic question to create a distinction from false processes that they tell you, go grab birth certificates and versus legal viability.
Yeah.
Yeah, to discern a lot of headaches and months running around trying all these different things.
Right, or some guy trying to say, give me money on the internet and I'll show you this. Look, this is real.
Yeah, see, I've looked at this one just with the sovereign immunity Australia. There is no automatic crown immunity in Australia. It's got nothing to
Amazing.
do with, yeah. Is that right? Am I in the right place?
Amazing. There's no automatic. In the United States, there is automatic, and I slay the dragon.
Okay. So that's a good thing. There's no
A good thing,
automatic
a very good thing.
crown immunity. Okay. The Australian
that
Constitution
state-
does not establish a state or unfettered immunity of the crown in respect of the states and the Commonwealth. The
There you go.
Constitution.
So what that means is that states can't act like they're gods. In Australia, In the United States, they act like they're gods. Think about it. Every
Yes.
drone strike in fucking Afghanistan. Let me give an example. Hold on. Look,
You need
think
one of
about it.
these. You need one of these. This is what
I
you
have
need.
one.
Ah,
No. I have one. But I'm gonna go get one. Hold on.
Hey.
I do have one. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me. You're right. Let me bring it into the living room real quick. Give me 1 second. Hold on, because it's in my gym. Because of Instagram and my wife. Jesus. Give me 1 more second.
this is good. This is good.
All right, go on.
Ah, oh, I'll put this link up in the chat so people can have a read over it.
And you're so right. I should have it like ready. Hold on.
No, it's all good. You don't need it.
No, it's no. I've been bitching the whole time over it. And 1 more second.
Yes, you need it. Get yourself organized, Raymond. Come on, dude. Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, fuck. I could have a brain as a supercomputer of law, but it means nothing.
And just so you know, New Zealand is classified as a state of New South Wales or Australia. It's in
There
the
you go.
Constitution as well.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look that up.
All right, cool. All right, so this is awesome. Wait, the stupid fucking light. Look. All right, so there it is.
Oh, that's better. We can see you now.
Amazing. But you can only see me when I smile and light's reflecting off my teeth. But look, here's the deal. What you call it? Sorry, I'm American. Look, here's the deal. So no. But the truth is this.
Yeah.
Who here has learned anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody here not learned anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So if we learned anything, have you learned anything more than you've learned in a long time trying to research on your own?
Yep. Learned that there's remedy. Yeah.
There is, right? And that the only way that we can assert a claim is if there is legislated or high court remedy or doctrine remedy over the issue that we're trying to argue. Who here didn't learn that?
Yep. No, that's good.
Right? So the only thing we're going to go for is what is written. Did they write it? Because that is the social compact.
Mm.
That way
Yeah.
we're not going for like all kinds of weird remedies that don't exist or what we think might happen. Like, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Last example. Not really. Not because I'm shutting the door, but because I'm trying to put a muzzle on my face. So in the United States, right, we had this movement called Black Lives Matter, in which, might turn some people off with this, 3 fat black radical lesbians ran the movement and had people feeling like they were victims in a state in which there's equal opportunity. I was a Marine for 5 years. Who's the victim? Police never pulled out a gun on me for no stupid reason, and I don't care how racist they were. But in the United States, sometimes claiming you're victim allows you to assume a certain power and authority because you're bitching. And since the United States is a very war enthusiastic yet citizen protectant country, it's all stupid. So the opinions started to create the doctrine in which it all failed ultimately. Does that make sense, or does that not make sense?
Yep.
Like the opinions of people who claimed that they needed remedy were not really the mode. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Who here doesn't understand what I'm saying?
Just say that last bit again.
Okay. Like people bitching and complaining that I'm a victim and that the state should leave me alone does not necessarily mean that the state made an error in which many would agree. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, got that
Okay,
one.
so what happens with a lot of secure party processes is they're like, here's the ism. I'm going to teach you the ism so that you can keep them away with zero law school, zero real historical foundation. Why? Because if you can't provide a Supreme Court case or a high court case, then you don't know the legal history as it operates in the norm. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
I like your last one. I got the
Yes.
last one.
Which one?
Where the opinions.
The opinions, right? Because facts don't care about feelings.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is just find the facts. How have they looked at this before? How do they actually interpret what we're asking? Because usually they're going to interpret what we're asking based on what has happened before. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Precedences can be set, but my process is based on precedences set.
Yep.
Which
Gotcha.
means we're not setting anything new. That's why it has a 100% kill rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it safer than trying to set a precedence or safer than just arguing an opinion? Because the opinion as it has been adjudicated exists as I am telling you. That's why we can find legal doctrine on Google.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? So if you had to look at the likelihood of success on what you're about to learn, it's defined in open source because it is the popular.
Yes.
Who here doesn't understand what I'm saying? Good. So that's what you're going to learn. That way we could close out because I know some people need Excedrin. Like I'm talking this fucking American all day, this goddamn mother. Like,
Hey, yeah, I think it is really, really good for us to just digest everything, to process everything. There's a lot. Whoops. You know, it's a lot to take in, especially if a lot of these things, concepts are only being heard for the first time.
Jesus.
But
we're going to practice legal pragmatism, okay?
Oh, awesome.
That's what we're going to
Now we're
practice.
talking.
Legal pragmatism. We're not going to practice any fucking, magic ism or any type of potion. That's what secure party creditor does. That's what I don't do. We're going to practice 100% kill rate by finding the legalities and by finding literally the parity between the United States under the concepts under the British law. Does that make sense? What is good for trade? What is good for commerce? If you can't communicate it as a merchant, you are not conducting commerce.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And we can only deal with liabilities. And that includes a bank, a loan. If you can waive crown immunity, then you will be able to waive a bank's immunity. If you can destroy a king's immunity, what the hell is a financial institution?
Exactly.
My process will also allow you to capture all of the bonds associated with the transactions that you're getting remedy for.
Okay.
All trade associated. you will be able to recover it. So if they did a form of fractional reserve banking, you will be able to get the times 10 or whatever the hell they tried to fucking profit and expand the loan into this credit system of whatever the hell.
Do you guys have superannuation in America?
Who?
Superannuation.
No.
401k, I
What
think
is
it
this?
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
401k.
401k, yeah.
Okay.
401k. So like retirement.
Okay. Yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Because a lot of them over here are preventing people from accessing their 401k, whatever it is, retirement.
Even though they paid into it.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, fine.
Awesome, brother. Tekere, we'll catch up. Oh, yeah, I'll post this this video up.
You may.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And let you guys have the link to it. But yeah, so before everyone goes, I just need you guys to know that anyway, did you want to go? Do you have anything, any last words? Not me.
No. I'm waiting on you guys. I'm going to be the last one to leave with you guys once you guys X me out.
Awesome. So we've got an opportunity, like I said before, 6 weeks. It's 200 USD to get into this class with Raymond. So if that's something that you guys want to jump in on, you got to get at me, and I can give you the link to, and then everybody will be in a Telegram group with Raymond. And every Sundays, 4 o'clock Brisbane time, which is 6 o'clock New Zealand time, we'll be doing this. We'll be going through how to construct and understand, so that when basically be the bomb at administrating, at managing our assets as being a trustee. So if that's something that you guys want to jump in on, it's really, really good. If you've got families, if you've got properties,
hold on.
assets you want to protect.
Hold on. Let me say what the most vital portion. All of you that are in, that actually choose to join, that had the patience to hear me out right now, which I say for last, will be trained to such a degree in which each other individual in the course will have a sort of metric, an understanding of what you were experiencing and you were able to understand due to this live fire conversation. Therefore, you would be able to pick trustees that would have the competency to your liking because you were bred in the same kitten litter. I mean, if I went to MIT and I became a fucking technician or some shit, or an engineer, and I know that guy went to MIT, I would say, that guy's a scientist. Okay, but if you went to Joe Blow down the road, well, what's the accreditation to your school? So therefore, the gauntlet is there. Does that make sense? So you will know the quality of those who have been trained.
Awesome.
Yeah.
By checking
Sounds
their
awesome.
ability to interact, you will have an idea, not saying completely, but you would know their attentiveness and what their attentiveness would be to the mission of being a trustee. And all my trustees live in different states. None of them live in California. They live in New York. They live in fucking Florida. They live in goddamn Georgia. They live in goddamn Omaha, Nebraska. So, and we all live in different states and run it federally. That way, if one has a problem, the others can operate.
Awesome.
Can I ask a question?
That's
In
strategic.
terms of what you've just been saying, and then go back to the beginning where you got the settler or the grantor, and
Yes.
then the settler setting up the trust, the irrevocable trust.
Settler will be depositing assets. Grantor will be setting it up.
Yep. And then in this case, you know, in terms of protecting one's assets and whatever. Are we not the ones that are setting up the trust?
You can
Our
set
assets.
there's something called merger doctrine of trusts or law of merger of trusts. You can be the grantor, which is also a settlor, but a settlor is not always a grantor.
Right.
And you can be first trustee as long as you're not the beneficiary.
Okay, so in terms of what you're teaching, are you suggesting that whether we're the grantor or whatever, that we be the first trustee
I am.
in the trust? And that's
Hugely.
aside from the fact of, what is it now, the other part of this equation? Trustee and trademark name.
Well, the trademark would be an asset that would go on your Schedule A.
Oh, that's an asset.
That's an asset.
Okay, and so the
Intellectual
asset
property is
is
an asset.
one's name, whether
So you
one
would
became
grant-
sovereign or otherwise.
You would grant your name in an irrevocable trust in the form of a trademark so that it is a brand and an
Okay.
intellectual property asset. Then the trustees as a team would manage that asset and protect that asset, because by law, if you do not stop other people diluting your trademark or creating funds from it, then you would be, let me choose the proper word, in dereliction of duty.
Okay.
You will learn how to create arbitration clauses for the performance of those trustees so that you don't have to litigate for 60 years and you can just slam them for not protecting their trademark. Be
Huh.
advised, you will be an indentured servant because the trust has an indenture. So it is the same thing as slavery of competency. Be advised.
Okay.
It is a very brutal curve, but if done correctly, then the trustees will get compensated for their performances. And I'm talking Beamer, Benz, or Bentley.
Hmm.
It is a skill that you can bring onto the forefront of most witty commercial prospects. Most corporate organizers that are successful often dump their creations into a trust and create trust funds for the dispersion of management. It is one of the most powerful tools as a merchant. If you fail that, it's almost like you are just, how do I say this without being offensive at the upper echelon? Insert whatever derogatory statement of a businessman there. It is like you are low-hanging fruit if you don't know this. I'm just saying. Just saying. It's only one guy saying it, but I'm the guy that says, Google this. I'm saying, under social class order, if you do not know trusts and don't know them in a way that you can express it, people will almost be able to smell the low-hanging fruit out of you. Even if you're, oh, I made $1 million off my business. Yeah, new money, shut up. You can't even transfer it. That's what they're gonna, not what they, who cares what they think, but that is literally what sharks would smell blood and water as. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
that question just made me catch the Holy Ghost of just freaking one more expression. If you really want to get an idea of the type of trust we're going to build, here's proof. I've already given it to Tupou. Tupou, I've been correcting your name ever since I got corrected.
Awesome.
Kapai, good.
Thank you. Well done.
Right now. So check this out. It's a tomato thing. No. It's a Tupou thing. So look.
That's right.
Here's the deal. Jeffrey Epstein, irrevocable trust, Fox business. You can find it on YouTube. Before they, hold on, there's this YouTube like, before he killed himself.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay. He was like, oh shit, 2 days before I kill myself, let me go ahead and make an irrevocable trust with a pour of a will. You are going to create an entity. Obviously, I'm going to give you the language, the papers on how to do that, in which even if you sat there, and I'm not telling you to do it, nor do I support his actions, but his asset protection before his croaking is impenetrable. You will have asset protection at such a level that even if you were the demonic being that that dude existed as, you'd be able to make sure that your assets carry over and you're not sued. And we're talking about monsters here. But you will have that level of deep asset protection that stops deep asset penetration, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not a drill. This is what we're going to teach. And you're going to know how to operate that situation in such a way where you will be just as viable. I mean, he made a pour over will.
That's
Okay.
right.
Someone, oh, that's Utopia. Oh, you put it up there?
Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That way they have it, because then they can see it and they'll be like, oh shit, well, he's not just talking diarrhea of the mouth. He needs paper toilet for his face.
Absolutely.
After this conversation, they'll be able to actually view it and they'll see the news article on it, i.e. Kennedy sitting there talking to a lawyer about the pour of a will, which just in case you forget an account, you can make sure that the executors can pour it in which the executors would actually be your other trustees. So you don't have to mix all assets.
Yeah.
So Tupo, you just tell me when to shut up, okay? And I'll go to bed.
No, I mean,
I got the dragon in my back right now. I'm just like fucking Bud Light, you know what I mean? And it's just like, let's go.
So Raymond,
it's up to everybody else if they've got questions. Oh, sorry. Yep.
You may.
So with our trade name or our
Trademark.
asset.
Trade name is just the business entity's name.
Yep. Our asset there. We really have to, like, we've had t-shirts on a website, etc. Do we really have to spend a lot of time do we have to spend a lot of time building that asset?
No.
Or as long as we have our first international invoice. Yeah.
I have cookie cutter. Listen. I have cookie cutter ways of doing it because I have to make the most layman go Einstein.
Yeah. Awesome.
You handle that, people? You got the look. All right.
Just the cookie cutter, just copy paste, mate.
Copy paste, but in such a way. Yeah, we're gonna go to canva.com and create the trademark. Oh, did I let something out the bag? Canva.com.
Yeah, yep. I use
Canva
good at everything.
Yeah.
Very simple, but we're gonna put it together. Okay.
But
and
for some of us, we've already established our website and our trademark. I mean, our name and our t-shirts and whatnot. So I know, or for me at least, I've already started my trademark in the US, trademark in New Zealand with.
So do you know what you just did for me?
No.
You just gave me a wheelchair instead of walking, and the shit has a little tennis ball, and it has a remote control with a battery power, and I don't even have to think. I'm just getting from point A to point B indoors. You made my life easier.
That's just me, but I'm just saying that that's going to be something that some who are new haven't done, but you've got a remedy for that. So
yeah, but we're going to walk everybody else through it. And then all of you that have done it will assist me in explaining on how easy it is And wherever I sound complicated, because I don't know why, but I speak like LexisNexis, and I try to chew the meat and spit out the bone, and then bird feed it. But if it's still too complicated, you will help me.
Yeah, we got you. Sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll do this all together as a team, you know.
Anybody interested in taking it? Can I just get a Dr. Dre? Hell yeah. I hope it sounds like
Hell yeah.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Hell
You got a
yeah.
couple?
Don't know who he is, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course I do. Of
It-
course I do.
Yeah, you know, it'll be probably one of the greatest things, and it'll be one of the greatest evolutions. And then once you have the knowledge, listen, if they shoot me in the head in a pizzeria somewhere because I've been talking too much, you guys got the crown. You know what I mean? You'll be able to duplicate it, or at least teach it to your children and their children's children. Fuck that, I'm
Yes.
making my own
That
cult.
gives me
Me and my children.
a question.
Yes.
Raymond, do you suggest we own and trademark all our children and
I do.
put them into the trust?
I do.
So therefore we have to do the whole thing. We do like website.
You don't have to, but I do suggest
sorry,
it.
t-shirt. Yeah.
Not only do I just suggest it, I highly encourage it.
Yeah. Same process, just we own it though. We own their trademark.
Right, because as children, disregard the sound, but as children, you're gonna have to fucking protect your offspring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, the kids,
Yeah.
you know, fucking Gerber. What's Gerber? You guys don't have Gerber over there?
Yeah, we have Gerber baby
Okay.
products.
Oh,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Gerber.
Yes, 100%. It makes sense, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even my children, like, for example, like, let me give you an example. I'm gonna get personal information here. My daughter boxes. Does her father box and does her father fight? Warriors. You know, just like I teach them that, I teach them law.
Awesome. 100%.
I teach them.
Yeah.
Look, if we die, we're like endangered species, each individual. You know what I mean? We're like Kung Fu Panda individually. Like all of us have to preserve ourselves, because if we die, we're forever extinct. And therefore, even our legacies.
Absolutely.
Imagine this. Imagine the worst thing that you could, I'm not saying that you guys, because you're obviously here, but imagine the worst thing you could do is just be an incompetent fuck and not pass on your legacy and let the state absorb it through taxation when you die.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What?
Yeah.
You know? Just imagine that. Oh no, you owe me. And it's like, well, what do I owe you? Like, I'm just one human being. Like, we're supposed to preach forgiveness. Oh, you don't want to forgive? Don't worry about it. Come over here. Let's talk about it. How much money are you trying to make? Trust. Oh, you sued me for 1.2 million? Don't worry about it. Trust. That guy just made money off the mark. Trademark infringement. Hey, judge, what else are you doing? You see what I say? Judge not, lest you be. It's the order.
That's right.
So every time somebody tries to monetize you, monetize it. No, you don't. You let your archangel.
Trustees.
Your archangel. Your archangel, right? Angel comes from the root word angulos, which just means messenger. So your trustee will be the messenger. Cease and desist, you fucking pilgrim.
Wow.
That's literally how it works. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe they put this gun in my hand, but this monkey has that gun. It has that gun of knowledge. I'm not, listen, I don't care if it's $99. We will Allah borrow this whole fucking thing right now financially. I don't care. Oh, fucking capitalist, born in America.
Yeah.
So is that cool or no?
100% cool.
Every transaction you will control with that name. If the king can die, what the hell is a financial institution? I turned up late.
Oh,
Okay, before I give
kia ora.
you a-
Whoever that is, you'll have to send me a direct message, because some of you have kind of come in from different names through the group. So if you're on here, you'll have to send me just through messengers. Just say, hey, I was on the call last night. Can you send me through the link for the video to rewatch, and I'll send it through to you.
Okay.
So are we all good, or what do we got?
Yeah.
I got a
Any
quick
more
question.
questions? Or are we good?
Yep. Signature. Do you know about putting this BY colon in front of a signature? Do you do that?
Okay, so the by means autograph as opposed to signature. Signature is just a mark. You could put an X, right? Like the package comes through, just X, and that's it. What I would tell you is that that's just a mark of authorization. If you're receiving a package, it's okay, depending on who it's from. Some of it might carry debt. Get that fucker. Some of it might carry anthrax. I don't know who the hell's sending you anthrax, but get that fucker too. And some of it might just be something you authorize. Does that make sense? But it's not necessary. Just distinguish the autograph from signature.
And because these answers are so good, while I've got you here, on a form, a government form, whatever form, voting, at the elections, whatever, I heard that anything inside a box should not be considered.
Okay, so here's the deal. Have you ever signed anything inside of a box in which it allowed for an authorization of an action?
I would have. Yeah, but it can.
It's probably
like,
said
they can take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Hey, I could fucking fill out an application in a box, and they can say, we ain't hiring you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's mundane. What we're talking about is it's absolving you of liabilities in which people profit from. How many people profit from your liabilities in our societies? There's some asshole getting paid to fuck you over, right?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Councils, banks, yeah.
Right,
because I didn't vote in the last local council election, and they sent me a fine. So I tried it because one of my friends is on this other website.
What kind of fucking, excuse my Swahili, earmuffs if you don't want to hear this. I'm just warning. What kind of OnlyFans tinfoil hat conspiracy is that to extort you for not fucking giving up your signature?
You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. But if you consent to it, if you accept them,
No, but I mean, like, how do they put a plastic bag over your head and handcuff you to a chair like you got to vote now? Do they really do that?
Anyway, so I put this to the test. I did a box out just on the inside of the edge of the paper the whole way around to try out this, anything in a box should not be considered, and sent it back. So I haven't got it. I haven't got anything back yet. This was last week.
They're probably
But do you
looking
know
at it
much
with a
about
magnifying glass and waiting for it to go through the system and wondering, what we do with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I also heard with that box thing, if you can put on the right side of the box 2 parallel lines running off it, it looks like the box is now open. So then whatever was in the box can
All
be
right. So
considered.
look, the box thing is an enclosure. Usually when financial institutions send you a check with an amount in a box, it doesn't really exist there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you put a box and you say, oh, my signature is invisible around the little line, they're going to say he marked up our paper, because layman's that are just grabbing shit and putting it in the system. They're just going to say, well, we're just taking this out of a box and we're just going to put it here. Even if it got a box over, I don't know what to scan. Could you agree to that?
I don't know.
Would you agree that the highest form of negligence is usually from the party that doesn't know what you're trying to assert? And that's why they usually deprive you of a right because they're not legally competent?
That sounds pretty good.
Does I put a cherry on top because that's usually how people get fucked over. It's the cleric that sits there and goes, hey, I don't know, scan. And then it's like, oh, the machine does it, so we'll just say that they did it. Even if they did, or verifier, can you look at this? Would you agree?
So essentially, a lot of those, I guess, the strawman processes that many have learned, they don't necessarily, the clerks and things don't really know them, so they probably trash things. It's the higher up people who may know these things, so they're not real actual remedies.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
unless you can legally and judicially enforce whatever the hell you're doing, and the court says, oh, we recognize. Oh, no, you guys didn't recognize, but we do. And we can see how your rights were destroyed. And okay, here's your compensation. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
But check this out. That was a very good question. Again, Christopher, because the very basic strawman theory, secure party creditor, mysticism, voodoo magic, like, look, watch this. This is a doll of me. Watch this. I'm gonna now stab it with this voodoo magic. I'm still here. Look, that is literally what that does. But, and I have it at the tip of my head. If I were to put it in the best words possible, you need to negotiate their liabilities for whatever you're asking. How can you make it hurt their pocket? You need to be able to say, watch this. Oh, you want me to vote? But I have an injunction against the state for using that mark of trade. And therefore, nobody better be getting paid over that. Oh,
yeah,
worker.
But because mine hasn't gone through yet, I've only just started the process, so I don't really have that all. I just sort of try these things out before I go right down this path because I can. The lady who told me all of this stuff put me onto this, the trademark. She put me onto Willie. So, if I hadn't met her in the last 8 months, I wouldn't have known about this. I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
And that's what I was saying earlier. They're making either good faith people believe that they're making good faith arguments.
Yeah.
And they might not be nefarious. They're just echoing what the other guy said. But the thing about it is if they put you on a Willie, they might have had maybe just an awakening. And now watch this. They said, well, that makes sense. And Willie has been trying to show, here's the law with it.
Yeah.
He's taken action where it's been verified. Like Willie has a trademark in the United States, and I know, and it exists. And I've researched it, and I was like, good job, Willie. Good job. And it went through the system. And the United States system is brutal. They're like, what are your specimens and what is this and what is... No, you qualify. And he's an Aussie.
Yeah.
Which means that whatever I told him worked, and that's why he shared it with them. And that's why because he was able to show some traceability of the effect.
That's
but now that you've gotten to speak to his source, which is this guy who's up at 3:23 in the morning. I mean, it's because I really love what I do. And I've been constantly telling you guys, did it appear on Google? And that's why Willie was able to transfer some, answers that actually turned a leaf and therefore was the catalyst to you being able to speak to me as a source. Does that make sense?
Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
Thank Willie. Willie's over there just finger painting like, look. So that's awesome. And he's nowhere near my level. Meaning, I know law in real time. You're asking me questions, and I'm giving you sources in real time. But I'm asking you guys to pull it up in your real-time question as an answer so that you can corroborate what I'm saying, not just by my mouth, but that it comes up with evidence. Does that make sense?
100%. I just put in the chat, if you guys haven't been to Raymond's YouTube channel, please go and hit it up, go through all of the content. You know, it's just going to back up everything that you guys have learned tonight and some.
And I look it up on Google in real time, but it's very American.
Yeah.
But guys, check this out. I want you guys to get with Tupo, and I want you guys to join, man. I would love to have all of you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So for all of you that are interested in joining, please reach out to her. I'm going to let you guys go because it is 3:25 and my wife is about to bitch slap the fuck out of me and say get to bed.
Yeah. Awesome.
You
Thank
know-
you
you
so
know-
much, brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank
Okay.
you, Raymond.
God bless
very
all of
much.
you.
God bless
Okay.
you
Cheers, Brozzy.
too.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I
Bless
made
you.
it to the meeting
Me
in the
too.
wee hours of my
Good.
nighttime, but I'm with you guys, okay?
All
All right.
right.
Cool. Thank you. Good
Awesome.
night.
Por
God
Maria.
bless.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey guys, I just want you guys to, before I close this meeting, the best way is just to reach out to me in Messenger. It's a lot easier for you guys to reach out to me than me trying to chase you. And like I said, to do this course with him, he's, you know, there's no really anything else to say. If you want to do it, it's 200 USD. That's all he's asking, and you'll get everything and more. All
It's
right.
the one payment, or is that 200 US per week? It's a one payment.
Nope, that's the one payment. And to give you an idea, I've seen his trust document, right? You can look it up on Google or YouTube. A irrevocable trust set up in the Cook Islands with the trust law of the Cook Islands. In the US, they pay anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000. All right. Not only are you getting the setup, the trust document for 200 USD. I don't know what the it's about 250 Australian, so it's probably about what 270, 280,
It was 302.
302.
New Zealand. Yeah. New
Okay.
Zealand.
Thank you. So about 300 New Zealand. But that's the value of the document, let alone you're going to get the education, and he's going to break it down and just make it, like you said, just so powerful that no judge, no agents or anything is going to mess with you or your whānau again. And that's the whole reason why I'm on board with this, because legal liability and legal entitlement creates legal force and effect, right? You got to bind them with their own stuff. Our common law stuff, our ideals of how we want to, you know, say, no, you're below me. It doesn't work on them. There's no legal force. So they're going to continue to ignore us. They're going to continue to harm us and our, you know, and I'm tired of that. I don't want any more of that on my whānau, my friends, and the people that I care about. So anyway, Raina, do you have anything you want to share? Because Raina's like just streets ahead. She's already registered or applied for her trademark in the US. You know, so it's a federal trademark now. It's international. She can apply federal you know, damages to anyone that infringes, not just local. If you're dealing with something local, you're dealing with, you know, a company that's just in New Zealand, you know, or just in Australia. But if you're international, if you're global, then you're like a Nike, you're like a Adidas, you're like a Gucci. That brand is global. And so that's in the millions to fetch for damages. A local mark you'll get maybe thousands. So that's the difference. And we will teach everybody, you know, one, how to do it, how to trademark yourself, how to, you know, how to do a website and stuff. We've got admins that can actually do it for you. If you've got the coin and you don't have the time to do it all, you know, we've got admins that will do it for you. Or just be a part of this group, get the learning, and we'll just walk you guys through it. All right.
So
Super.
when does it start? Is it this Sunday?
This Sunday. Every Sundays for you guys will be 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, so this week. All right. Cool. So be in touch.
Awesome. Ka pai, everybody. All right, I'm gonna end the Zoom, and I will wait for it to save, and I'll send you guys all a link once you've reached out to me in Messenger. Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tupo.
No
Good night.
worries.
Thank you,
Por
thank you.
Maria.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Oh
See
my.
yous.